Do some conflicts tend to repeat themselves in your relationships? This happens because the references created in the past are the only ones we have to conceptualize something in our history. As a result, we reproduce the same situations over and over again. That's why you need to understand the power of forgiveness. The only way to change this is by creating space for new information to enter the field of consciousness. For this reason, it is important that you more flexibly accept new information so your mind can create new possibilities in life. The mind transforms, reorganizes molecules and particles, controlling everything. Therefore, it's crucial to have authority over it, being able to choose to act differently. But before we continue, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, click like, and share this video with your friends. Science tells us that life is based on the mind. So where we place our attention is where our energy goes. How we feel about situations is exactly what the law of action and reaction will bring to all areas of life. For example, if you betray your partner in a romantic relationship, life might bring you betrayal from people at work. Therefore, what we want to reap must be our priority. That's why if you want a lighter life, with fewer people judging and condemning you, finding forgiveness is important to follow the path of coherence and peace. It doesn't matter what or who we need to forgive. The fact is that this internal search leads us directly to well-being. And that's what we all strive for. So, it's definitely worth insisting, no matter the size of the challenge, because the power of forgiveness is immense. You might be the person betrayed, but immersing yourself in this pain of disrespect and lack of love will only reinforce your beliefs of rejection and unworthiness. Emotional maturity requires acceptance and detachment from traumas to transcend your limitations. That's the power of forgiveness. But now you ask me, how to forgive? I'll suggest a few steps, but each case is unique, and you should follow the path that makes sense in your story. 1. Stop saying it's hard. The first step is to stop repeating that it's too hard or impossible. This thought will keep you stuck in this useless belief until you give up. Nothing is impossible. Depending on your own resistance, it might take longer in some cases. But forgiving and forgiving yourself is possible and necessary to achieve peace and inner security. 2. Try to go beyond the pain. Go back to the beginning of the text and analyze your conflict situation in relation to the 7 points. Something will start to change within you to help you go beyond the pain. 3. Avoid judgments. Depending on your story, it can indeed be very challenging. Forgiving disrespect, lack of love, betrayal of our trust, or other painful situations is not easy. But focus on the need to eliminate the discomfort you feel and avoid judging, condemning, and mistreating. Anger is legitimate, and in many cases, I always recommend in therapy that there be an opportunity for catharsis so the body can start releasing the pent-up anger. This way, the mind becomes calmer to work on forgiveness. 4. Forgive yourself. In some cases, before forgiving the other person, you need to forgive yourself for having placed yourself in or allowed that situation to happen. In this case, think that you did what was possible at the time and that from now on, the opportunities for change are countless. Focus on today. 5. Invest in self-knowledge. Looking at our own actions is sometimes sad and painful, but without this deeper look into self-awareness, nothing can be changed or forgiven in your life. In this sense, the therapeutic process is fundamental. 6. Release the other person. After making peace with yourself and understanding your process, it's time to release the other person from this terrible role in your life. At this point, I recommend, based on my experience, that you use the Ho'oponopono technique, the power of forgiveness in 4 sentences. There is a very simple approach to resolving conflicts in relationships called Ho'oponopono. In this sense, the idea is that you basically chant or mentally repeat the phrases, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you." Do this every time something bothers, irritates, brings guilt, or any emotional discomfort in your relationship with others. This method is effective because it helps us recognize more and more quickly what is happening within us that caused the discomfort and what our responsibility is in the situation that led to the conflict. In this deep dive into self-responsibility, you end up forgiving the other person and feeling at peace. After all, the feeling, even if it's about someone else, is produced and resides within you. The other person is merely an instrument to show how past beliefs are being reproduced by you. This exercise usually results in more calmness to deal with the moment. As a result, daily life becomes lighter and more resolved within us, which is crucial in helping us address the issue with the other person. Relationship problems are generated by conflicts you carry within yourself. Think about your experiences and notice that many times the person apologizes, but you don't truly forgive them. This is because we have the habit of accusing others and lacking self-responsibility. I know it's hard to accept this concept, but believe me, it's the only one that can bring us lasting peace. The external conflict is always generated by your internal conflict, regardless of how ignorant the other person may be acting toward you at the moment. By regaining your inner peace, you will be able to understand the irrational situation of discord and transform it. Thus, from understanding this responsibility, you will be fully capable of forgiving the other effortlessly, loving them, and being grateful for what they've shown you. We should judge less and less because we are only able to see ourselves. Everything that is established after this inner peace is achieved is a pure reflection of your restored, loving condition. And believe me, miracles happen. I sincerely hope you make this small effort to take responsibility for the things that are bothering you in your relationship, because only then will you open a new door to infinite possibilities toward joy. Because it is a very simple method, Ho'oponopono generates many doubts and even some misinformation about it. Just do a quick search on the internet, and you'll find a lot of content talking about rituals or obligations to apply this technique. Is there a correct order for the phrases? Many people tend to question how the phrases, "I'm sorry," "Please forgive me," "I love you," "Thank you," should be recited. It doesn't matter. There is no more or less efficient way to practice the technique. Do you need to meditate while practicing Ho'oponopono? Meditation is any action or non-action where we place focus, absolute presence in the current moment. So, if in the activity you are doing your mind is in the now and completely detached from the past, you are meditating. The same goes for Ho'oponopono. If you are effectively engaged in chanting or mentally repeating the phrases, acknowledging your responsibility, asking for forgiveness from the other, loving this possibility, and being grateful for the opportunity to better know and accept yourself, you are meditating. Letting go of past concepts about a troubled relationship leads you to silence, which consequently means you are meditating within Ho'oponopono. But be aware that this is a natural process. You don't need to make an effort to meditate with this tool for inner peace. By practicing the technique sincerely, you are already led to inner peace and silence. Therefore, I strongly recommend your effort to free yourself from anguish, sadness, and anger, which will only limit your joy and achievements.